Hey, what's up everyone? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for a list video for you guys, and this is another one of these throwback list videos. So this time I'll be going over some of my favorite rock and metal albums from the year 2009. So this list is in no particular order, so let's go ahead and get started. And we start off with Alice in Chains, Black Gives Way to Blue. This is the first one with Duvall with the band. This is obviously their comeback album with the current singer, of course. Yeah, it's a pretty good album, I'd say. One of their heavier albums, too, I would say. It's a solid comeback album. You got All Secrets Known, A Looking in View, and the title track. These are some highlights for me, personally. But yeah, pretty good album, I'd say. Obviously not one of their best. Their best work definitely comes from the Layne Staley era, particularly the first two albums with Layne, but this album here is still pretty good, I'd say. So next we have an album that definitely means a lot to me, and that is Dear Agony by Breaking Benjamin. This is probably the first CD I've ever purchased as well. You guys know that I've had a pretty long history with Breaking Benjamin. I would say that they are the first band I ever got into. I don't know where I'd be in my musical journey without this band, actually. But yeah, one of their best albums for sure. I definitely have a lot of nostalgia for this one. I think all the songs on this album are good. I mean, if I had to choose a least favorite, I'd probably go with Hopeless, but even that one is decent. But yeah, the songs on this are excellent. It does have some of their best work. Of course, it has I Will Not Bow. That's a fan favorite. Not my favorite of the singles. I would actually say Give Me a Sign is probably my favorite of the singles on this album. I really like that song, and probably one of my favorite Breaking Benjamin tracks. What Lies Beneath is pretty good. Of course, Lights Out, the title track. Into the Nothing and Without You, really great songs. And yeah, probably their darkest sounding album too, and it's kind of unique for the time for this band, I think. But yeah, a lot of people say that this is one of their best, and understandably so. I would definitely agree that it is one of their best. Honestly, there's even days where this is my favorite Breaking Benjamin album. This album and Phobia kind of fight for my #1 favorite album from these guys, but yeah, definitely a solid album for sure. So next we have Innocence and Instinct by Red. Maybe my favorite Red album. All the songs on this album are excellent, and yeah, this is probably one of Red's darkest sounding albums. One of their heaviest too, maybe, I would say. It has some of the band's best work, and it does have the song Mystery of You, which is definitely one of my favorite Red songs, but there's other great tracks on here as well, like Fight Inside, Never Be the Same, Shadows, which was co-written by Benjamin Burnley. Forever is kind of an underrated Red song. Ordinary World, pretty good, but yeah, pretty solid stuff. I mean, if you haven't checked out this album yet, definitely check it out. If you're a fan of bands like Linkin Park, definitely check this album out, because Linkin Park is definitely one of Red's biggest influences. I mean, they're definitely influenced by their sound and all that, but yeah, what a great album this is. So next we have Black Clouds and Silver Linings by Dream Theater. Surprisingly, this album has grown on me a lot. I have returned to a few songs from this album recently. Like The Shattered Fortress, kind of a song I overlooked whenever I first listened to it, but going back to it, it's actually a pretty solid track. I really did enjoy it. James LaBrie, he sounds pretty good on this album, and this is also the last Dream Theater album with Mike Portnoy. Yeah, I guess it's a decent, way of bowing out for him, but some really good stuff on here, though. A Nightmare to Remember, Wither, Rite of Passage. Yeah, really good stuff. So, yeah, lots of progginess to this album. Of course, that's what you get with a lot of Dream Theater material. But yeah, pretty solid album right here. So next we have Infamy by Voivod. Not one of their better albums, but you know what? Very strong album still, especially the first half. Of course, you got songs on here like Godphones and From the Cave. Pretty good songs. Yeah, definitely a step down from what they've done before, but you know, this album is still pretty good. I mean, you can tell that they didn't have as much creativity as they used to, you know, in their classic era. But I mean, Voivod, they're always capable of making very good music. I mean, very unique band as well. So yeah, so I gotta have this album here from Voivod. Not one of their best, of course, but still very good. So lastly for this list, I'm gonna have to go with Endgame by Megadeth. Some even say that this is one of Megadeth's best albums. Some even say it's the best of Megadeth's more modern material. I can maybe agree with that. It is a great album for sure. Lots of thrashiness and heaviness to this album. I think at the time it was maybe their best in a good number of years, but yeah, of course you have really good stuff on here like This Day We Fight, 44 Minutes, Crusher, How the Story Ends. But yeah, a lot of great stuff on this album for sure. So Endgame by Megadeth, pretty strong album right here. So yeah, there you have it. I know that this was not an extensive list. I just wanted to briefly talk about these 6 albums here. And these are some of my favorites from the year 2009. So let me know what you guys think. What are some of your favorite rock and metal albums from the year 2009? Feel free to let me know. And what did you think of these choices? So on that note, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Take care.